Look around you. Your phone is resting on a table. Light is reflecting off the screen. Air is filling your lungs. Gravity is pulling everything toward the earth. Yet you can't see any of it happening. The world around you looks calm and ordinary, but beneath the surface, invisible physical laws are constantly at work. Today, we're exploring why everyday objects obey these unseen rules, and how the entire universe operates through principles you can't see, but can never escape. The illusion of stillness. The floor feels solid, but nothing is truly at rest. Inside that cup, atoms are vibrating. What feels stable is actually a perfect equilibrium of invisible interactions. The universe is not static. It is structured. The four fundamental forces. Everything you experience is governed by four fundamental forces. 1. Gravity 2. Electromagnetism 3. The strong nuclear force 4. The weak nuclear force. Every object you touch obeys these forces. Gravity keeps your feet on the ground. Electromagnetism allows atoms to bond into molecules. The strong force holds atomic nuclei together. The weak force enables radioactive decay. Without these invisible rules, matter would not exist. Why objects don't fall through the floor? Here's a simple question. Why don't you fall through the floor? The answer isn't just because it's solid. On an atomic level, your body and the floor are mostly empty space. What prevents you from passing through it is electromagnetic force. The negatively charged electrons in your atoms repel the electrons in the floor's atoms. You're not really touching the ground. You're being repelled by it. Solidness is a force interaction, not a physical merging. Gravity, the silent architect. Gravity is the weakest of the fundamental forces, yet it shapes the largest structures in the universe. It keeps the moon orbiting Earth, Earth orbiting the sun, galaxies bound together. Gravity bends space itself. You don't feel it as a force pulling you downward. You experience it as the natural curve of space-time guiding you. Even when you're standing still, gravity is acting on you every second. Invisible, but constant. Motion follows laws, not chaos. If you throw a ball, it follows a predictable path. Not because it chooses to, but because physical laws demand it. Newton's laws of motion explain that objects in motion stay in motion. Force causes acceleration. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Everyday objects obey these rules perfectly. But physics creates reliability. That reliability allows buildings to stand, cars to move, planes to fly. The invisible laws make engineering possible. Heat, energy, and transformation. When you boil water, it turns into steam. When you freeze it, it becomes ice. Why? Because of thermodynamics, the laws that govern energy and heat. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. Your body follows this rule. Your car follows this rule. The sun follows this rule. The universe is constantly redistributing energy according to strict principles. There are no exceptions. Why light behaves the way it does? This happens because light obeys electromagnetic laws. Without these laws, cameras wouldn't work, vision wouldn't exist, electricity wouldn't function. Modern technology depends entirely on invisible physical consistency. Atoms, the rule followers. Atoms don't decide how to behave. They follow quantum rules. Electrons can only exist at specific energy levels. They jump between states in predictable ways. They emit light at precise frequencies. This is why chemical reactions behave consistently. Materials have predictable properties. Medicine interacts with your body reliably. The microscopic world obeys strict structure, even if it looks chaotic. Why we don't notice these laws? If these forces are always acting, why don't we feel them? Because they are constant. Your brain filters out what doesn't change. You don't notice gravity because it never turns off. You don't feel atomic repulsion because it always balances perfectly. Stability feels normal. But stability is physics in action. The universe is mathematical. From planetary motion to atomic vibration, mathematics describes reality with extraordinary accuracy. The universe behaves in patterns. Not randomness. Not magic. Structure. When everyday objects obey invisible laws, they're following mathematical relationships embedded into reality itself. What would happen without these laws? Imagine if gravity suddenly changed strength, or if electromagnetism weakened. Atoms would destabilize. Matter would collapse. Stars would fail. Life would not survive. The consistency of physical laws is what makes existence possible. The bigger perspective. Every breath you take, every step you walk, every object you touch is participating in a silent agreement with the laws of physics. You don't see the forces. You don't hear them, but they shape everything. The ordinary world is extraordinary once you understand the invisible architecture behind it. Closing. These unseen rules create the stability you rely on every day. The next time you drop a cup, feel the wind, or switch on a light, remember, you're witnessing the quiet consistency of the universe. And that consistency is what makes reality possible.